Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Webinar Wednesdays with SMP. We're happy to have you all here with us this morning. My name is Sunny Lawless, and I am going to be your host for today's webinar. And joining me today is Jean McDermott and Justin Grimball, who are our Vermont Community Outreach Specialists, and Jean is also the Vermont State Team Lead. And today for our July installment of Webinar Wednesdays with SMP, we're going to talk about durable medical equipment, or DME, fraud and scams. During the presentation, you're welcome to type in any questions you might have into the chat, but we're going to hold those until the end of the presentation when we open things up for Q&A. There will also be a prize drawing at the end of today's webinar. You did need to be registered to attend by 10:15 a.m. this morning in order to be eligible for the prize, and you do have to be present to win. Before we get started, I do need to let you know that this project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, Department of Health and Human Services as part of a financial assistance award with 100% of our funding by ACL and HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor are they an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government. Before we get started with today's presentation, we do want to share some information on the Senior Medicare Patrol Program. SMPs are grant-funded projects of the federal U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Administration for Community Living. All SMP grantees have a shared national identity through a national program name and logo. Every state has its own SMP program. In Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Vermont, SMP is sponsored by AdviseWell. And our mission is to empower and assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report healthcare fraud, errors, and abuse. And we do that through outreach, counseling, and education. Before I turn things over to Jean, who's going to talk about the durable medical equipment and the scams, we do have a quick polling question for you. So today's polling question is have you ever received a phone call from someone offering you a free back or knee brace? Let's see if you'll give me just 1 second. I will launch the poll. There we go. All right. Have you ever received a phone call from someone offering you a free back or knee brace? And I'll give everyone just a few moments to select yes, no, or I'm not sure. All right, I'll give just another 5 seconds. Don't forget to lock in your votes. All right, let's see. All right, so it looks like 13% of you are saying yes, you have received this type of phone call, and 88% of you said no. All right, so now I'm going to turn things over to Jean, who is going to talk about durable medical equipment. She's going to let you know what it is and how scammers are using that to commit Medicare fraud. Jean?
Thank you, Sunny, and good morning to everyone. Let's talk first about what is DME. Durable medical equipment, or DME, is medical equipment and supplies prescribed to you by your doctor that is reusable and has a usable life of at least 3 years. It's usually equipment mainly used in the home and for a medical reason. Examples of this type of equipment are back and knee braces, walkers, wheelchairs, hospital beds, home oxygen equipment, diabetic supplies, therapeutic shoes, and scooters, among others. Medicare will only pay for certain DME, such as wheelchairs, walkers, and some braces once every 3 to 5 years. To qualify for DME, you need a prescription from your doctor. So if you need durable medical equipment, you and your doctor can make that decision. They know your health needs and can prescribe durable medical equipment when medically necessary. Some equipment must be sized so it will work best for you and fit into your home. Medicare only covers DME if you get it from a supplier enrolled in the Medicare program. What is DME fraud? Now that you know what DME is, let's talk about DME fraud and scams. The type of fraud and scams has been on the rise. This type of fraud and scams has been on the rise. Many people are getting calls from suppliers offering free equipment, or they're getting supplies in the mail without having ordered any supplies or equipment. Examples of DME fraud include billing for equipment that you have never received. You provide your Medicare number to the DME provider. They bill Medicare for the items and you never receive anything. Billing for equipment different from what you received. The provider offers to send one thing, they bill Medicare for it, and you receive something totally different. Often the provider will send multiple braces for different uses. Then we have billing for equipment you do not need, and giving false or misleading information, such as offering free equipment when they are going to bill Medicare. The provider tells you the equipment is free, however, they bill Medicare anyways. Some potential scams that lead to fraud are getting calls or visits from people saying they represent Medicare and trying to sell you products. Many television and radio ads are run targeting beneficiaries to order free DME. Those ads don't have the beneficiary's best interests at heart, so don't fall for the advertising of free equipment. Aggressive marketing by durable medical equipment suppliers. Don't let anyone persuade you or pressure you into switching suppliers. Talk to your supplier first because you may not need to make the change. Seniors across America are receiving calls from people receiving free back braces and knee braces. They ask for the senior's Medicare number, date of birth, and other personal information. In some cases, the senior never receives the equipment, but Medicare is billed anyways. Sometimes the senior receives the equipment, but it doesn't fit properly, so they are unable to use it and have trouble returning it to the provider. So Medicare ends up paying for equipment that they are unable to use. Due to the increase in fraud related to DME, Medicare began reviewing all requests for equipment. If the beneficiary has received more than one order for the same equipment within the last 5 years, the claim will be denied and the beneficiary may be billed for the equipment directly. Okay, the graphic produced by the Office of the Inspector General shows you an example of how the scam usually works. It starts with the conspirators. They own the call centers where telemarketers call beneficiaries directly and they offer free or low cost ortho orthotic braces. The call centers confirm that the beneficiaries are on Medicare and then transfer them to a telemedicine firm for a doctor's consultation. The doctor and the telemedicine company prescribe the orthotic brace regardless of medical necessity. They then turn around and submit the brace prescription to the call center. The call center collects the prescriptions and sells them to a medical equipment company. After the medical equipment company buys the prescriptions, the medical equipment company sends the brace or multiple braces to the beneficiaries. The company bills Medicare and pays a kickback to the conspirators. Then the cycle starts all over again. Okay, urinary catheter scams are another type of fraud that has been on the rise. This scam involves billing Medicare beneficiaries for urinary catheters regardless of medical need. The catheters may not be sent. How to fight back. This is important. Review your EOBs, which is explanation of benefits, and your MSNs, Medicare summary notices, for fraudulent charges for urinary catheters. Do not accept delivery of unordered equipment. Be suspicious of any unsolicited offer for free medical equipment, including urinary catheters. Talk to your own doctor about these needs. Wheelchair scams are another very common type of durable medical DME fraud. Mechanical and motorized wheelchairs can assist a beneficiary who has a chronic illness or disability that prevents them from freely ambulating. The power wheelchair industry has grown into an almost $1 billion a year industry. You've probably seen commercials on TV offering wheelchairs at little or no cost to you. Be aware the Medicare's rules stipulate that you must have a legitimate need before obtaining these devices, and a certificate of medical necessity must be signed by your doctor. How the scam works. DME street scammers may approach you to offer a power wheelchair that is a free benefit for having Medicare. This is not the case. The beneficiaries have the beneficiary must have a legitimate need, and copays and deductibles may have to be met, and the physician prescribing the device must have examined the patient. The cost of these power devices runs from $1,500 to $6,000, depending on the model. In addition, accessories may be ordered that are not needed, driving the cost up higher by several $1,000s. Often a scam artist will contact the beneficiary and use scare tactics. This includes telling the beneficiary that Medicare is running out of money, so the beneficiary better get his wheelchair now, even though it's not needed at the time. Getting equipment now for possible future needs does not adhere to Medicare rules and is therefore illegal. How to fight back. Do not let anyone talk you into stockpiling equipment for later use. If you do need the equipment, it should only be ordered through your regular family physician. If someone calls and tries to threaten or pressure you into something, simply hang up the phone. Be aware that you are responsible for 20% of the final amount, including potentially unnecessary add ons and accessories for the device ordered. Frequently, the scammers do not explain that. Here are a few tips on things you can do to stop DME fraud. The best way to avoid becoming a victim of DME fraud and scams is to protect your personal information. You should never give out your Medicare number to a stranger in person or over the phone. Treat your Medicare card like you would a credit card. Refuse and report offer anyone offering free equipment, supplies, and services in exchange for your Medicare number. If you do make the mistake of giving out your information, reviewing your Medicare summary notice or explanation of benefits is the best way to make certain that no one is using your Medicare number to commit fraud. If you are on original Medicare, you should receive a Medicare summary notice every 6 months. If you are on a Medicare Advantage plan, you should receive an EOB after you receive the healthcare service. If you see any suspicious activity on your MSN or EOB, you must report it. It is very important that you care about what is going on with your Medicare benefits. If Medicare pays for equipment that you never ordered or never received, when you need the equipment, Medicare will deny it because it will show that you have already received it. To avoid becoming a victim of durable medical equipment fraud, you should follow Senior Medicare Patrol's message, which is prevent, detect, and report. And I'm going to turn this over now to Justin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gene. All right, first things first. The first key is to prevent. Protecting your personal information is your best defense against healthcare fraud and abuse. So share your Medicare number only when necessary, such as at a doctor's visit or the pharmacy. Only carry your Medicare card with you when you know you're going to use it for one of those things. Remember, Medicare will not call to ask you for your Medicare number for any reason. Try to remember to keep your records of all medical visits and procedures that take place and involve medical equipment orders. Next, please. The second key is to detect. Knowing how to spot suspicious activity can help you stop healthcare fraud in its tracks. So, what we need to do is review our Medicare summary notices or our EOBs, our explanation of benefits, for inaccurate information. If you see any medical appointments that you did not attend or you were double billed for, if you notice anything that's off, such as things that were ordered like braces or catheters or diabetic supplies, if you look over that and start finding things like that, then you need to do the next thing. Next slide, please. You'll need to report. This is the third and final key. Report. If you suspect you have been a target of fraud, you're going to have to report it. This will help you and others that are at risk. So, what we do, if you receive any suspicious calls, hang up immediately. Call your provider or plan if you have questions about charges on your Medicare statement, and contact SMP if you suspect that you are a victim of Medicare fraud or any other kind of fraudulent concerns you may have. Next slide, please. Keep in mind, Senior Medicare Patrol is always looking for volunteers. And these volunteers get to receive training on the basics of Medicare fraud and Medicare scams. They learn different ways to educate seniors in their area on fraud. Volunteering with us can be incredibly flexible, and it can be a way to help older adults in your community. You get to participate in bi-monthly volunteer check-ins and trainings throughout the year. If you're interested in this, please call us at 877-272-8720. Again, that's 877-272-8720 to learn more. Also, remember, you can follow us on Facebook and all other social media platforms. This way you can stay up to date on the latest scams and events. And other events that we may be, and different kind of healthcare events that we may be attending throughout the year. This is one of the ways that we hope to keep you informed on ways to avoid healthcare fraud. Next slide, please. Together, we can fight back against Medicare fraud. Remember, call SMP to report potential healthcare fraud and discuss related concerns. Visit our website for more information about SMP, the SMP program in your state. And most importantly, call SMP to request presentations or to let us know about an event in your area and if you have any concerns. Again, that number is 877-272-8720.
All right, thank you, Jean and Justin, for that information on durable medical equipment and scams. So coming up next month for Webinar Wednesdays with SMP, our topic for the month of August is home health and hospice fraud and scams. So we hope you will join us on August 26th at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, where we'll present some information on things that you need to be on the lookout for when it comes to home health and hospice. All right, so now it is time for our prize drawing. So everyone who was registered to attend today's webinar prior to 10:15 a.m. this morning has been entered into our prize wheel. The winner will receive a $25 Amazon e-gift card, and you do have to be present to win. So let's give the wheel a spin and see if our lucky winner is here with us today. All right, congratulations, Miss Mary, for being our winner this morning. I will reach out to you later today and make sure that we get you that gift card. All right, so before we wrap up today's presentation, I did want to open it up to questions. If you have a question about the information that we presented today on durable medical equipment or a question about the SMP program, now's the time to raise your hand. And if you do, we'll unmute your phone, and then you'll have to unmute your phone as well, and you can ask us your question. So we'll give everyone just a moment to raise their hand if they have a question. All right, well, I'm not seeing any hands raised. So this is going to conclude our presentation on durable medical equipment fraud and scams. You will receive an email after the webinar today that includes a link to a short survey. We would really appreciate it if you would complete the survey to let ACL know how we did with today's presentation. We again appreciate you all joining us this morning for Webinar Wednesdays with SMP, and we hope to see you all again soon. So everyone take care, and thank you again, Jean and Justin, for presenting with us today.